we are glad that our Deputy President, His Excellency Gachagua, is visiting Brussels to attend the Global Gateway Forum. This is a very important forum where the Europeans have mobilized about 300 billion euros towards investments in developing countries. As you know, Kenya has benefited from these initiatives of the Global Gateway. The road from Malindi to Mariakani is actually being built under the Global Gateway financing. There are many more projects that they intend to finance globally. It is a competitor initiative towards the China Road, which is also trying to do some developments in Africa, for example. And we're happy that we're having this happen now when Kenya has a new development initiative under the bottom-up initiatives in Kenya. You are going to see a lot more happen leveraging on infrastructure development under the Global Gateway. And we are hoping when His Excellency the Deputy President is here, we can be able to discuss more other issues that we would see undertaken by the Global Gateway. EU, we have worked with them previously. We want to intensify our relationships. We have seen, I think you know, that we signed the Economic Partnership Agreement. We are waiting that it goes through Parliament, and then we can have access to this huge market where we have had relationships for many years. If you see what cultural products, they come to Europe. We are beginning to work with the private sector for investments in Kenya. It is a good beginning, and it is good that His Excellency the Deputy is going to be here to strengthen the relationships and be able to bring in investment funds into our country. Because we are expecting 40 high-level representatives, heads of government, and several other organizations. We are going to see like director generals of the WHO, WTO. These are very critical organizations. You recall when we had COVID and WHO was on the screens throughout. We've been talking about strengthening our development, research and development. Actually, our Deputy President is going to participate in a session for research education, which is very critical in finding new solutions for the many problems that we have, including such issues that we had in the pandemic, what kind of relationships we create with these organizations and be able to serve our people best. So there are also other states where the Deputy President would have an opportunity. We are working towards creating opportunity for him to have bilateral discussions with various countries besides high-level guests from the EU. Yeah.
In terms of trade, is there any engagement that he will be involved in?
There is a lot that we need to discuss. You know, our president has been very instrumental in climate change, and everybody is talking about the green investment. We have started to discuss with the EU to see how we can build or strengthen our energy sector, especially the production of green hydrogen how we can begin to do farming, for example, which is more oriented towards green. So there are several things that will be discussed which fall within the space of the emerging issues, global issues around sustainability. And many people want to talk to Kenya about that because of the leadership which our president has provided throughout the world. We just finished the Nairobi conference in September. We are planning to go into COP28, where we are looking towards to see whether the developed countries can honor their pledges of $100 billion US dollars to developing countries which are not emitters of carbon. We are talking about working towards a green economies. Kenya has been leading in that space. The president has been pushing issues around reconfiguring the financial systems globally. The work that the deputy president is doing in the space of agriculture, especially coffee and tea, is very critical in the sense that this is the first time we are looking at the entire value chain and to see how we can restore. I think most of you know that we have lost a significant amount of coffee production in Kenya. I think we dropped from almost 110,000 hectares to now hovering around 40,000 hectares. And I think that loss came as a result of mistrust. There is what we call trust deficiency. And it is good we begin now to look at the mistakes we made that made farmers to lose hope in the crop and be able to restore it. So what is going to come and see is what other countries are doing and thriving. Look at Brazil, for example. Brazil, they have their own warehouses here, and they work with roasters all over the world to be able to maximize the earnings to the farmers. If we are able to improve what the farmer takes home, we would create the incentive to expand our space of coffee growing. And the same as tea, that once we begin to understand the market itself, we never looked at the market. What is trying to see is what happens in the downstream of the value chains and what it is that we can do to improve so that the farmer gets value out of their crop. That is the other assignment which His Excellency would be visiting some of the larger importers, those who do roasting, and discuss with them the way forward. What most people don't know about Belgium, it has the most biotechnology companies, and biotech is the future. And we are going to make sure that His Excellency gets to visit some of them. We are looking to take advantage of some of them so that we could disrupt some of the value chains in our country. I will give you an example that in Kenya we are consuming mostly eggs from South Africa and Uganda. And then you ask yourself, how does a South African compete with someone in Kiambu who lives in a walking distance to Nairobi? That the egg in South Africa is cheaper than the egg in Kiambu. We would be able to disrupt that if we adapt to biotechnology, which would reduce the cost of feed and make the farmers more competitive. We would want to see that happen. And not only that, we're looking at other biotech areas. As you know, the changes in technology also impact on the technologies of food production. This is a very key area, and no other country leads in Europe other than Belgium. We would have wanted him to stay for 1 whole week so that we take him round and take this back to our country. Number 2, also, we are looking at building some partnerships to create manufacturing farms that would create employment. There are groups that want to set up entrepreneurship centers in Kenya, and with that they can begin to exploit areas where there is opportunity, and because of that you create space for creating a manufacturing company with people. Also, to improve the efficiencies of some methods of productions that we have in Kenya at the moment, from furniture to steel and all those. We will take him through very quickly. I'm sure he would get the appetite to come back again and look at it in detail.